Hello TV fans and welcome to Lost in the Reel. Today I'm going to be covering the first 3 episodes of the new Showtime series, American Gigolo. How does this new show compare to the original movie that it's based on? And can it get past the fact that no one was really asking for a reboot of this property in the first place? And finally, how is Jon Bernthal in the lead role? Let's talk about it. American Gigolo is created by David Hollander, based off of the characters created by Paul Schrader. It stars Jon Bernthal, Gretchen Mol, Lizzie Brocheret, Wayne Brady, Leland Orser, Gabriel LaBelle, Yolanda Ross, and Rosie O'Donnell. American Gigolo follows Julian Kay after his wrongful conviction release following 15 years in prison. He struggles to find his footing in the modern-day Los Angeles sex industry, all the while being entangled in a string of murders. Before I get started, I want to thank Showtime for providing screeners for the first 3 episodes of the show for this non-spoiler review. Now, the original film American Gigolo from 1980 is a divisive yet seminal classic. It's a movie I grew up on as it was one of my dad's favorite movies, but I honestly never found myself overly fond of it. After watching it again before diving into this new show, I certainly see the appeal of Paul Schrader's film, yet I am still torn on it. On one hand, Gigolo is smutty, soapy, style over substance, and full of melodramatic moments and cheesy dialogue. But it is also at times a gritty, hard-boiled thriller and a fascinating character study. If showrunner David Hollander was trying to duplicate all of those elements for his reboot, he has succeeded, because all of the good and the bad from the original film are alive and well in Showtime's American Gigolo as well. Besides one clear difference. I might get crucified for saying this, as I know a lot of people love him, and Julian was a role that he made iconic, but Richard Gere's performance in the original film came off a bit flat for me. His doe eyes, chiseled physique, and charisma made him an ideal candidate for the role, but I don't think that Gere was fully capable of diving deep into Julian's psyche. With this new iteration, now ousted showrunner Hollander found the perfect performer to take this role to new heights in Jon Bernthal. The underrated actor might be a little more rough around the edges than Gere, but he captures all of Julian's inner demons in such a raw and captivating way. It's about damn time that Bernthal was given another juicy lead role to sink his teeth into, and I cannot wait to see where he takes this character from here. I also think the supporting cast is really strong. Gretchen Mol has some electric chemistry with Bernthal as Julian's ex-lover, and the one woman he has ever truly been in love with. Wayne Brady adds exuberance and energy to a show that can be overly dismal at times. Gabriel LaBelle, who will be starring as Steven Spielberg in the autobiographical film The Fabelmans later this year, perfectly captures the loss of innocence in our main character's younger years. And Yolanda Ross is easily my favorite supporting character so far, as Julian's landlord and burgeoning new friend. The only person that feels totally out of place here is Rosie O'Donnell. And I am not saying that out of distaste for the actress. I was actually looking forward to seeing her take on a recurring role in this series, but something about the performance feels off. In a pretty self-serious show, despite the silliness of it all really, it feels like she's constantly trying to pull off jokes in every scene she is in, and they are not landing. It just makes me think that someone else might have been better suited to take on this important detective role. My biggest quandary with this American Gigolo so far is struggling to find the purpose of its existence in these first 3 episodes. I'm not exactly sure if anyone was asking for a reboot of this movie, even its diehard fans. though the timing of it makes sense as Paul Schrader is in the midst of a critical comeback with First Reform and the Card Counter. But why bring back one of his most enduring characters to the small screen? What new and timely stories can be told through Julian Kay in the present day? And what is this character able to bring to the table now that he wasn't able to 40 years ago? These are questions that I have not been able to answer yet, and they will continue to bother me with this new show until I am able to. I also think that the use of time jumps and flashbacks in these 3 episodes is frustrating to the point of infuriating. Not 3 minutes can go by without the script feeling the need to jump back in time to Julian's youth or to before he went to jail. And the directors seem inclined to shoehorn in constant flashbacks to help further get the audience inside our lead character's head. It reminded me of how HBO's The Flight Attendant was nearly ruined by perpetual daydreams of the lead character talking to a dead guy to further the show along. Because of the incessant usage, it goes from being a simple plot device to a crutch. I'm hoping as American Gigolo continues, it gives itself time to breathe and let the main story in the present run its course. Despite these glaring issues, I still have confidence in the potential of this series. It certainly hasn't come out of the gate swinging as I was hoping it would, but not all shows do. They need time to find their groove and cultivate their characters before becoming something truly worthwhile. And by the time episode 3 rolled around, I was finally starting to find myself invested in the tangled web that Julian finds himself thrust into. Our protagonist's fight to try and live a normal life, despite his troubled past, becomes the clear story. And it is a compelling one, especially when bodies start piling up and people from his sex working days return, refusing to let him move on. The pieces are slowly starting to come together for an intriguing ride. And with Jon Bernthal in the driver's seat, I am more than willing, at least for the time being, to continue giving this show a shot. So I will be giving American Gigolo episodes 1 through 3 pitbulls out of 5. The first 3 episodes of this reboot series promise a healthy dose of entertaining melodrama, hard-boiled thrills, and a dynamic lead performance from Jon Bernthal. But this guilty pleasure show is going to really need to work on the pleasure part if it's gonna succeed at all. Thank you so much for watching Lost in the Reel. What are your thoughts on American Gigolo? Do you think this is a show that was begging to be made? And what is your favorite Jon Bernthal performance? Sound off in the comment section down below. And until next time, my friends, take care.